So I want to introduce the next company. I worked with them as a mentor. They are NimbusBase. The space that they're in is really interesting. It's interesting to me. I think it's interesting to everyone. Everyone is using cloud storage, and therefore enterprises are using cloud storage, whether they like it or not. But developers are definitely moving to cloud storage as well. And personal cloud is something that is being used within apps. And the issue and the gap that exists between what developers can use and what individuals use leaves something that can be filled by really interesting products. So NimbusBase is trying to fill that with some tools that can be used by developers so that they can abstract a little away from which specific personal cloud can be used and really create a market there and make it great for developers, great for end users, and great for enterprises. They've got a great team. I've been working with them now for a couple of months, and it's always interesting. They've pivoted a couple of times and now are really focusing on a really strong product. Alex and Ray, they've got a great mix of really strong technical skills and the ability to scale technical development, as well as some business acumen and really strong ideas for how to create an opportunity that will sell. So I'm excited to introduce Alex Wolodarski to present NimbusBase.
Thanks, Sean. I'm here today to talk about something that's big and hairy for developers, their backends. My name is Alex. I'm here with my co-founder, Ray, and we are NimbusBase, the first application backend built on personal cloud. So what is a backend and what does it do? The backend is basically everything you don't see when you open up an app. It's the invisible brain that remembers what level you're on that game and lets you play that level from anywhere, whether it's your phone, your tablet, or your browser. Backends are awesome for app users. It gives them a seamless app experience and data continuity across their different devices. But they also have a dirty little secret. And that secret is that they really, really suck to build for developers. Backends are coded in a completely different language to the front end. So developers have to learn multiple languages to build their apps. Once they learn those languages, they then have to set up a server, which can take weeks of coding time. Once they finally have their app built, they see their server costs start to rise as they pay for bandwidth and storage of users they acquire. Backends are time-consuming, backends are costly, backends are painful. NimbusBase solves all these problems. We take that big, hairy, painful backend and make it nice and smooth. And we do it in a way that's never been done before, with personal cloud. So what is NimbusBase? NimbusBase is a backend as a service that takes free personal cloud storage, like Dropbox or Google Drive, which can normally only store binary data, like Word documents or pictures, and transforms it into a backend database that developers can use to power their apps. Our SDK lets developers set up a fully functioning backend that can store, sync, and share data in just minutes. And because we offload all the costs of storage and bandwidth from the developer, who no longer has to pay for servers, to the personal cloud storage providers, we save them a ton of money in the process. NimbusBase lets developers forget about servers and focus on what they really care about: building, designing, and deploying great apps. Let's show you what we mean. So Tweet Diary is an app built on NimbusBase that lets users access their notes from anywhere by storing it on their cloud storage. So let's open up the app on our iPhone. We choose whether to log in with Dropbox or Google Drive. We're going to log in with Dropbox. Ray's going to enter in his existing Dropbox credentials. So this is just as easy as a Facebook or a Twitter login. Enter in the password, sign in, click allow, and boom, you're done. All your data is now being stored to Dropbox. As we enter data, it's stored both locally and on the cloud if you have an internet connection. We also solve a really annoying problem for developers, which is offline sync. So if you're using an app built on NimbusBase offline, we save all the changes locally and sync it automatically as soon as you're online. So you never have to worry about losing changes when you're using your app in the subway ever again. So let's open up the Dropbox and see what goes on under the hood. As we enter in entries in the app, they get stored as files in our Dropbox folder. But the developer is only permissioned to this app folder and nothing else. So don't worry, guys, all your selfies are safe. As we remove stuff from our Dropbox folder, they're also deleted from our apps. Now let's take a look at what happens when we go to our web browser. We log in with Dropbox again, click Allow, and boom. Everything is instantaneously synced with our phone. That means as we add in entries in our phone, they appear in our browser. This is what a backend looks like. Normally, it would take thousands of lines of code to build this. With NimbusBase, it took under 100. We think everyone should be able to use NimbusBase, so we operate under a tiered freemium licensing model. It's free for developers to sign up and use our code, and we start at $300 a year for the enterprise plan and scale with the amount of users. Backend as a service has only been around for a few years, but it's already estimated to be a $1 billion market that's projected to grow to almost $8 billion by 2017. And it's extremely fragmented. There are tons of startups in the space, but we're the only ones taking the personal cloud approach. And what that means is, because we don't pay for servers like our competitors, we're much more scalable, and because we integrate with multiple personal clouds instead of just an AWS, our technology is more defensible. NimbusBase was started by two friends who have worked together for over a year. Ray left his programming job at Goldman to start NimbusBase and solve a pain that he actually felt himself as a developer of numerous apps. And I joined him when I realized that the wave of personal cloud could change the way that apps are built forever. History has shown that when data moves, huge companies are born to help make developers' lives easier. When data lived on servers, Oracle and MySQL created databases. When data moved to the cloud with the rise of the internet, Heroku and Parse were born to help developers scale and store their apps. And now we're seeing the next step in the evolution of data storage, personal cloud. There are over 800 million accounts and 8.6 billion gigabytes of personal cloud storage available. And the company that helps developers build on top of this new powerful tool and scale their apps will be NimbusBase. Thank you, and we look forward to your questions. You can reach us at founders@nimbusbase.com.